Good evening. My name is Senior Curator, and I'm the director of the Institute of Humanities. I'd like to welcome you here tonight to talk about forgotten relations, relational aesthetics, feminist arts and relational aesthetics. I'd just like to say a couple of things about the Institute and to mention some of our past and present events before going to introduce our tonight. So the Institute has been in existence since 1983, and it is really geared to provide a space for interdisciplinary research in humanities. So it's there to provide a space for students, faculty members who are doing work in the humanities, broadly understood. It's also a vehicle really by which the university can create space for public engagement. And by public engagement we mean both the engagement of the University Institute with the public, as well as an opportunity for the public to engage us with its most pressing concerns, questions, and problems. And so, bearing all of that in mind, this is how we try to organize our programming. We, in the past, really focused a lot in the area of labor organizing, struggles of unions and labor movements, as well as social democracy. We've also had a series on violence and its alternatives. Obviously a theme that continues to have a very important resonance and will still continue to play a role in the kinds of things that we do in the future. So we're really geared to looking at Western humanist tradition, its various points of convergence with the Eastern traditions, as well as indigenous traditions, in helping us to understand the world in which we live in, as well as to try and change it. One of the things that we're trying to do and hoping to do in the future is to create spaces for, I suppose, a greater engagement with the cultural studies discipline, or the, I guess, interdisciplinary nexus of cultural studies. And in the past, there's been, you could say, a kind of somewhat conflictual relationship between the tradition of the humanities, which often is understood as somewhat backward-looking, conservative, traditional, and cultural studies, which is often perceived to be branching out in new directions in ways that has various kinds of political resonances. One of the things that we'd like to do in the Institute going forward is really create opportunities for there to be more engagement between the tradition of the Western humanities and new developments in cultural studies. And so I think that the event tonight will be one of those opportunities where such a dialogue can be created, as well as a series that we are launching in cooperation with the School of Communications called Counterculture. And we inaugurated that just a couple of weeks ago with a talk by Yael Bartana of the University of Amsterdam on the idea of pre-association in Marx and Freud. We'll be having our second installation of the Counterculture series later this month, November 26th. We'll have a screening of Diane Bruno's film Girlfriend Experience, and the filmmaker will be present to discuss the various questions that arise from her film. So I hope some of you will be available to join us for that. That'll be November 26th, and that is going to be W2. Yeah, it's going to be here in Woodward's Commons. We also have started a series which is essentially a workshop in social and political thought, and that was inaugurated also a couple of weeks ago with a talk by Doug Mogash from the University University of Ottawa on idealism, romanticism, and the idea of freedom, which is very interesting. And we're hoping to have another installation of that series in February, early March, with Frank Cunningham of the University of Toronto to speak on urban Aboriginal sovereignty, which is a very interesting talk. And more immediately, we have Laura Marks of the School of Contemporary Arts who will be speaking tomorrow in the same room on thinking like a carpet. Thinking like carpet. I have the subtitle here. Locate it. Thinking like embodying perception in artificial life. So I hope that many of you will be able to make part to that tomorrow night. So without much further ado, it gives me tremendous pleasure to welcome Helena Reckitt here tonight to speak to us about relational aesthetics and feminist art. Helena Reckitt was Senior Curator of Programs at the Power Plant Contemporary Art Gallery in Toronto. Her previous positions include Senior Director of Exhibitions and Education at the Atlanta Contemporary Arts Center, Head of Talks at the Institute of Contemporary Arts in London, and Associate Commissioning Editor at Routledge Publishers. She has also curated solo exhibitions for artists, including Yael Bartana, Prema Murthy, Paul Hew Locke with Julie Joyce, and Paul Shambroom with Diane Mullin and Scoates. Her group exhibitions for the power plant include Not Quite How I Remember It on forms of re-enactment and reconstruction. The power plant held June through September 2008, and Auto in Motion, Autobiography, Emotion, and Self-Fashioning, which is co-committed by Gregory Burke. And that was May through August 2007. Other group shows she's organized include What Business Are You In? On artists and institutional culture, and Found Wanting on the aesthetics of the awkward and in between. Very interesting. Reckitt has taught contemporary art history at Emory University and the Atlanta College of Art, and has contributed to magazines and journals including Scene Magazine, Art Papers, The Guardian, and Paradoxa. She is co-editor with Joshua Oppenheimer of Acting on AIDS, Sex, Drugs, and Politics, and that's by Surface Scale in 1997. And the editor of Art and Feminism, and that's the Fayon in 2001. Please join me in welcoming